Hello and good day, sir. My name is Nur Arjana Ikramina binti Azuki. My matric number is 01DSC 25F1078. We are from a group 5. So today, I will talk about the statutory right of a hirer in hire purchase agreement. In our case, the hire want to terminate, but the owner refuse. Therefore, this situation raises the important legal question regarding a right of the hire under the law. So, to understand the case, better let us start with the definition. The first point is definition of the hire purchase. Basically, the hire purchase is when a person uses a goods and pays in installment. Then the ownership only transfer after the full payment is met until the owner is still owns the goods. Next, we move to the law, which is the Hire Purchase Act 1967. This is the main law that governs the hire purchase agreement in Malaysia. It protects both the hirer and the owner by setting rules for the payments, repossession, and termination. It's also giving a certain right to the hirer, including the right to terminate the government in a certain situation. The third point is scenario affairs. Since the hirer already paid half of the installment, the legal rights become the more important. This is because when a big part of the payment is already made, the law usually gives more protection to the hirer. So now we come to the main issue. In this situation, the hirer wants to end the agreement, but the owner doesn't agree. So the question is, does the hirer still have the right to terminate the agreement even if the owner say no? That is all for my part. Thank you. I will pass to my friends.
Selamat sejahtera and have a good day. My name is Amira Hanan binti Muhammad Ali. My matrix number 01DSC 25F1087. I will now explain the statutory rights of the hirer. Moving on to the statutory rights of the hirer under the Hire Purchase Act 1967. Firstly, the hirer has the right to terminate the hire purchase agreement at any time, even before completing all the installments. This means that the hirer does not need the owner's consent to end the agreement. However, there are certain conditions that the hirer must follow. The hirer is required to return the goods to the owner and may need to pay a certain amount depending on the terms of the agreement. For example, if the hirer is facing financial difficulties and is unable to continue paying the installments, the hirer can choose to terminate the agreement instead of continuing the payments. This allows the hirer to avoid further financial burden. Secondly, the law provides additional protection to the hirer when a substantial portion of the installments has already been paid. In particular, when the hirer has paid at least 50% of the hire purchase price, the hirer gains stronger legal protection under the law. In such situations, the owner cannot simply repossess the goods without following proper legal procedures. Instead, the owner must apply to the court before taking any action. This is to ensure that the hirer is protected from unfair or wrongful repossession. For example, if the owner attempts to take back the goods without following the legal process, such action may be considered unlawful. In this case, since the hirer has already paid half of the installments, the hirer is entitled to this legal protection. Therefore, the owner cannot simply refuse or act against the hirer without following the proper legal procedure. These statutory rights are very important in determining whether the hirer can terminate the agreement in this situation. In conclusion, the law provides clear rights and protection to the hirer, especially when a significant portion of the payment has already been made. With that, I will pass to my friend Yuvinash for further explanation. Thank you.
A very good day, sir. My name is Zobinash Jayagunalan. My metric card number is 01DAC25F1093 and I'm from DAC2C. So let's move to my slide. This is my slide and these are my points I'm going to present today. So today I'm going to present about application under statutory rights. Let's move on to the first point. Hirer have rights to terminate. So every hirer in Malaysia have rights to terminate their contract if they can't afford to pay or they don't want the thing anymore. So this is stated under section 15 subsection 1 of the Hire Purchase Act 1967. They have stated that every hirer have their own legal rights to terminate an agreement or a contract of hire purchase by returning the goods to the owner and is not required to pay any further installment since half of the total price has already been paid. If the owner continues to refuse or pressure the hirer to pay the installment continuously, the hirer can take legal action. Possibly, the hirer may claim compensation for any loss suffered. So moving on to the fourth point, before that, I forgot to state it that the hirer side gets stronger if the hirer had paid 50% of hire purchase price. This is because to protect the hirer's financial burden and the hirer's unfair enforcement by the owner. So let's move on to the fourth point. Owner refusing equals to unlawful under statutory rights. As I told just now, if the owner refuses or pressure the hirer may take legal action on the owner. So basically the owner doesn't have any rights to pressure the hirer to continuously pay the installment. So this is supported by the case law of Yeoman Credit Ltd versus Epps, where the court emphasized that the hire purchase law are designed to protect the hirer and prevent the unfair enforcement by the owner. So in conclusion, hirer is protected by law and not required to pay any further installment. And once half installment is paid, the hirer has a clear and forced legal right to terminate the agreement, and any refusal by the owner is unlawful. That's all from me, sir. Thank you so much.